Allardyce has gone, how sad are you to see the England manager?
Well, for just on the football front, just on the football matter with it, me personally, very, very disappointed. I think he's worked all his life, 30 years. His ambition was to become eventually the England manager, and he's got the job and he's lost it. I think, and it's best for me to say this now, I think all the rest of it, all the stuff that surrounds it, all the stuff that we've been reading about and seeing, it's now time for the FA and the governing bodies to take that information, to analyse it, to assess it, and then act on what they think is right and wrong. I'm a football person, and let's get back to talking football and leave all that stuff to the governing bodies.
It's been a horrible week for football, certainly as a person who watches football.
Well, I've said what I've said. I think the big thing is now is that we've got a big game at Sunderland on Saturday. Let's talk about West Bromwich Albion, and let's talk about that game.
How have those preparations gone this week?
Yeah, good. The lads have worked really hard. We've got Brunty back, although Brunty won't be involved Saturday. We've got James back, and James has looked sharper in training as well. So yeah, the positive that those two are back, and positive that we've got 4 points out of the last two games, and we know it's going to be a tough game. I've got a lot of respect for David. He's joined the club that has to fight and scrap and work hard to get the points that's needed to maintain Premier League status. I don't think he had that at Everton at all. I think he'd built and put in place a club that was looking more the top six than the bottom six. So this will be a new experience for Dave, but he's a top man and a top football manager, and I'm sure, although it's a new experience for him, he'll get through it.
You haven't had the benefit of loads of money like you would at Manchester United, but how different is it for him in the kind of bargain basement of Premier League?
Well, you have to spend a long time working out how you're going to get results. You've got to play to your players' strengths. You've got to work a system out that will enable that team to get points, irrespective of how they play or how they don't play. The important thing is as a manager is to give yourself time to improve the team, to push the team forward, and that to do that you need results and you need to stay in the league. And David will have all different. There'll be different experiences for David this year, without a question of a doubt.
You mentioned Brunty there. He played, I think, an under-23 game. How close is he getting?
Yeah, he's okay. He trained on Tuesday. Trained very well on Tuesday. He trained yesterday and trained for an hour and then came off and had a little, felt a little bit tired. So, like I say, he won't be available. But we've got a game next Tuesday at Luton in the, what was it called, the ELP Cup. So the opportunity for him to get another game in there is important, and we'll make sure he's ready for that.
Talked about David Moyes. What about the Sunderland team? I mean, they're struggling at the moment.
Yeah, but they've done it every year, haven't they? They tend to start not so well, and then they pick up momentum as the season goes along. So their supporters, the staff, and everybody around Dave will most probably be telling him the same. This is a norm for us, and we usually drive forward as the season goes on.
And just quickly for me, Claudio Jacob, 2-year extension to his deal.
Yeah, he's a great lad, Yak, and he does a great job for the football club. He's a very, very humble man, and he is very underrated at times for what he does. And if you look at the Stoke game, especially first half, the pressure that they had, the number of times he broke it up around our box was fantastic. People might not notice it, but we do, and the players certainly do.
How different is the Jacob that people see on the pitch different to the Jacob off the pitch?
He's got a great sense of humour, actually, and he mixes in with the players, or he has mixed in with the players very, very well. I think they've got good respect, or great respect for him. No, he's a good lad, and he always does his extra work. He's a bit late at times. That's the only criticism of him, but he's a bit laid back. But he gets his work done, and he's a good professional. And I'm very, very pleased for him, and also the football club.
Talking new deals for Darren Fletcher and Johnny Evans?
Yeah, Pete, there's stuff going on behind the scenes, but again, you're best off speaking to John and Richard in that respect. The two players you've mentioned, and there's one or two others as well. Darren has been a revelation since he's coming in football club, not just on the pitch but off the pitch. And Johnny obviously is and has proved to be a top player for this football club and a top player in the Premiership.
The game this weekend, I mean, you've had a couple of results lately. I mean, everything was going down, and now it's...
Well, like I say, that's the way football is, and that's the way the Premiership is, and you get, and you have to accept that you're going to get criticism when things are not going well, and sometimes things will be going well, and you still get criticism. That's the way it happens. That's the way it goes. But I would, as I always say, Pete, I think you have to handle it in the same light. You have to keep very, very level-headed, keep your feet on the ground, whether you're doing well or if you're doing badly, and just make sure you've got your eyes set on a plan and stick to that plan and keep going.
We could up to that horrible international break that a lot of managers hate because the chairman get twitchy.
Well, it's
Do you think it's worse because the money in this year? Do you think it's even worse?
No, not really. You're never going to stop international football. You're never going to stop the FA from or any FAs from playing games, and obviously it's tournament. So I'm all for tournament football. The ones that annoy me are the friendly matches because I think the players play enough games anyway.
But what I'm saying is, do you think managers are under more pressure? This is the international break where
managers can come and go. But Peter, managers get sacked during the international break, after the international break, after the season's finished. It's our job, it's our life, it's what we... as I've said before, nobody puts a gun to my head to do the job. Nobody puts a gun to anybody's head to do the job. You just, if it's there and you've got to get it done. You know the rules. And, that the people will accept it and managers accept it.
There's no way at the start of the season you expected Sam Allardyce to be gone by now.
There's no way I thought you'd be sitting there, Pete. It's what's the name? It's happened, and like I say, the sad thing for me is that on the football front is that Sam's worked all his life really to get that job, and it's gone. But what has happened off the pitch, like I say, and I'll say it for the last time. I think everything now should go to the governing bodies. The governing bodies should assess what's going on. And then take appropriate action if it's needed, and that's it.
Who's it shame here? The newspapers.
I don't want to say any more, Pete. That's it. I've done my bit. I'm here. I'm manager of West Bromwich Albion Football Club, and I want to talk football. Anything else, give it to the governing bodies.
I know you are, but you're a big LMA fan. Who comes across?
I'm also the manager of West Bromwich Albion, who's playing Sunderland on Saturday in a massive game, and I'd rather talk about that now. Move on from there.
Who governs it? The FA?
No, Pete, I'd rather move on now and talk football. I think I've said what I've had to say, and I just think it's right now that we should talk about football. West Bromwich Albion supporters will be wanting to know about the team, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and fingers crossed we go up there and we get the 3 points that we desperately need, Peter.